I wanted to come and share hope with you today. There is so much hope when it comes to healing sickness and disease and symptoms that may have been being experienced for weeks, years, decades. In a world that is constantly handing out bad medical reports or negative reports or tests, I look to Jesus, like he is our living hope, he is our healer, and he shows us his promise in the Bible. There is nothing that can't be healed, but there are times when we have to be willing to see a higher perspective, a new perspective, right? Like the Lord speaks to in Isaiah 55, like seek the Lord, his ways and thoughts are higher than ours. And so often, there's this, we're called, right, to when we are going through times of deep struggle or trial or feeling really unwell, we are called to look for that hope, knowing that there is so much hope. I was guided earlier by the Lord I was in prayer and I was just, asking the Lord some questions and then he guided me to past testimonies, these incredible testimonies of women that have been struggling for months, years, decades, being put on things, various medications like HRT for really tough menopause symptoms or antidepressants for mental health, thyroid medication for symptoms that are actually related to the health of the adrenals and the gut and the lymphatic system. And these women they participated, they were willing to participate in looking at their food habits and their nutrition, and maybe there was a need of actually some cleansing and some cleaning of the body, purifying of the body physically through using actually what God talks to in the Bible, like as medicine, fruits and herbs. That is not to say that anyone has to live off fruits and herbs, but there are times in our life when God's grace works through his garden, like he placed these incredible properties in these foods that specifically are created. If we are willing to look there and go there and experience that, it's like our hope worketh like patience and experience, speaks to it in Romans 5. And so, there is that time when we are called to really like cling on to that hope, that no matter what, no matter how long you may have been struggling and suffering with the symptoms that you are or the diagnosis that you are right now, there is hope to overcome that. And for those of us that are believers in the Lord, that same power that resurrected Jesus Christ from the dead 3 days later, that authority, that power lives within those that believe in Jesus Christ. So, right now, today is the day of salvation. And we have a living God that gives us a living hope and a living promise in his word. So I really just speak life and healing and blessing over you and your body and everything that is going on right now. I've seen miracles in my own life. I've seen miracles in so many women's lives when there is like this willingness to just have hope, to not get stuck in that thinking that, but something didn't work back then in the past, so why is it going to work? That's just like, we don't go there, It's the devil wanting to pull us back, to discourage us. But we are never, like Paul speaks to in the Bible, the Apostle Paul, he's like, we are never discouraged. Paul was never discouraged. So we cling on to that, and we cling on to the hope that there is in the incredible healing medicine that God has so intentionally planted in the land, in the earth, throughout this whole world that he created. as a solution, as a solution. And so we can come to that and we can work with that, and there can be complete regeneration and restoration no matter where you are at with your health. So I speak this possibility into your life today. I bring this hope to you today, and I pray that hope may fill you and encourage you today to take action, because faith without action is dead, and faith calls us to step out in faith, because we hope even in what we can't see. Like, faith is to hope in what we can't see, Hebrews 11:1. And so we step out not knowing what might be, of actually taking that step and actually being willing to make some shifts and changes in our life with nutrition, with actually some practices that are biblical, that are going to really transform and regenerate and restore the body, and see sickness and disease be overcome and health be restored. Amen.